Peace, love, and light, guys. It's the God Professor O coming through with a dose of that good yoke. I'm everywhere like broken glass, from around like a circle. Anyway, anyhow, let's get down to this round now. Today I want to talk about beware the Jezebel. Listen here, listen, Claire. I'm trying to tell you right now. When you're God's elect, when you're on the path, I'm just putting point blank period. When you're on the path, and you're getting things right, you're getting things smooth, you're getting things in order, you're getting things cool, calm, and collective. You're doing things in God's path. Everything is looking righteous. Everything is looking smooth. You stick it to the script. Everything is just in good order, right? The enemy will send all your distractions. And one of the main distractions that destroys kings, emperors, queens even, you'd be surprised. Any individual of high status or high prestige, so to speak, right, would be the Jezebel spirit. And what I mean by the Jezebel spirit, I mean that literally I digress. This is why I wrote it down. You already know what's going on. You know I'm long-winded. Excuse me. All right. So anyway, anyhow, let's get down to this round now. You know I got the handy dandy notebook in the spot. Don't make it hot. Who writes the script? Clearly your boy still does. Don't hate me because you ain't me. Appreciate, never deviate. Maybe you need to levitate or meditate. But anyway, don't hate me. You dig what I'm saying? Think you can. Anyway, let's get down to it now. Let's get to the fun for you. These hoes want nothing but to ruin your life and suck the life, fun, and excitement out of you and life itself. Let me tell you something. I mean to tell you that these individuals here don't care. They don't care about living. They don't care about dying. They just want to suck the life out of everything. You know what I mean? Like a vacuum of wrong. Like they're not even cleaning up. They just sucking up this. It's just not a good thing. And they usually target individuals that are on the righteous path and want to choose to do good. You know what I'm saying? So like anytime you see you put yourself in a position when you're doing good, you're doing smooth, you're doing cool, you'll see like the enemy will send a Jezebel spirit, and then it'll just be like, yo. Especially if you like avoiding, how do you say, women that are, you know, period. Maybe you celibate like myself. And you're avoiding that because you know the distractions and the situations that come with it. So when you're doing that and you're on the path, whatever the case may be, this is when you start seeing the individuals of your dreams. Like I'm talking about, because it can happen to women as well. Don't ever get into it. This is why I say Jezebel spirit. Jezebel spirit isn't gender based, like, oh, it's just women. Nah, you have to realize even when there are women on the righteous path, the enemy will send a man with that Jezebel spirit. It'll be like, you know what I'm saying? It'll just be something of distraction. So don't ever get a twisted thinking that this is ever gender situation. Nah. The Jezebel spirit isn't, and that's another thing that I wish a lot of individuals will understand, and folks will understand that this Jezebel spirit isn't gender-based. They be like, oh, it's always a woman, this, that, and the third. There are good women out there. Don't be a hater of a gender. Experience. Go out there and love life. But there also are men who carry that Jezebel spirit, and you'll see that in their actions and their ways. They're just, a hoe is a hoe. It doesn't have to be a woman that's a hoe. It could be a man that's a hoe as well. But I digress. We're not here to talk about that because you know that I am long-winded. They want, I said that, excuse me. They have grudge against God and look at you to cash in on that vengeance. I mean that. Why? Because when you start doing things righteous on the path, you feel like, you know what? I just want to do good. I just want to just do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Do the right thing. What are you talking about? Do the right thing? You ain't Spike Lee. What you talking? What's going on here? Now you gotta do the wrong thing. I'm gonna get you to do. You know what? I'm gonna make you do the wrong thing. And then, matter of fact, I'm gonna do wrong to you until you do the wrong thing. That's when the enemy is attacking you. Why? Because number one, you like, yo, who does he think he is? And you don't even have to think highly of yourself. You can just be modest and be like, I'm just chilling. You know? I don't know. Nah. That's not what's going on. You know what I think that you think? I think that you think that you better than me. Like, well, what does this have to do? Why are you personalizing my path with you? How does my path have anything to do with you? You see what I'm saying? Like they'll try to impede on your life and make sure that they bring you down to a level. Because I spoke about this in my prior videos. When you're elevating, right, and you're on the path and you're literally tailoring your signal to a point where it's righteous and it's cool and it's giving out a good effect, a soft answer turns away wrath while harsh words stirs up anger. So when you're now elevating to that path, remember they're there. They're here. They're at a lower point, right? So when they're at the lower point and they want to bring you down to that point because they can't come up there. Why? Because in order to come up to where you're at, it takes peace, love, calm. It takes a whole bunch of, how do you say? It just takes so much love and compassion And I'm not talking about the human love where the circumstantial situation will be like, oh, what you do for me, I do for you. I already speak about this. I'm talking about God's love, because as God giving you grace, you do likewise. So it takes a lot of those godly attributes to be able to go up to meet you at that level. So when you're trying to go up to that level, when they're trying to go up to that level and they can't, unfortunately, they'll do anything and everything to kind of bring you down. Hate, wrongness, deceit, lying, argumentative, any type of thing to bring you there. Why? Because at the same time, misery loves company. Unfortunately, these are traits that just happen. I digress. I can get in more into that, but I'm sure you messed with Dementors before. You know the traits and you know the attributes of them. All I can say to you is give them grace. Why? Because at the same time, you don't know who you're dealing with and what you're dealing with. You could be dealing with individuals that don't even know that they're on that type of path. They're just acting in an emotional state. So you want to give them something to remember, because if God's giving you grace, you give grace likewise. Why? Because then if they ever choose to take the path of righteousness and then now they're on it, that will be a memory that they can reminisce on and go back to and be like, all right, so that's how I can handle that situation. Not only you don't even understand that when you're not engaging in these situations, you're giving people antidote to that venom that's within them. And they may not even know it yet. But the fact of the matter is that they're able to reminisce on a point of grace and where grace was activated in that situation. Then they'll be able to reminisce on that and get back something from it, because they may not even have any type of example around it. So again, when you're progressing and you're in your state and you encounter these individuals, you give grace. As you give grace likewise. Point blank, period. Simple as that. God has given it to you, you give it to them, and you move forward. It's not that deep. You never personalize the situation, because the minute you personalize the situation, remember, you're taking accountability for the interaction. And remember, the interaction initially wasn't positive. It was negative because they came and they started to BS with you. So why would you take responsibility for that situation? That doesn't make sense. That isn't logical, and it's not going to be spiritual at any give or take. So you move forward. Point blank, period. Right? I digress. You know I'm long-winded. Let's get to these points now. Long morning this morning. They'll mess up their life and look at you like it was your fault. Now, this is when you're dealing with individuals that are looking at the world for the situations and the choices that they made. They'd be like, oh, well, I fucked up, so that means you gotta be fucked up. You gotta do this, that. It's a whole situation. So when you're dealing with individuals like that, remember, they're not mentally to the point of taking accountability and responsibility for their actions in their situations. So they look for excuses. You know what I'm saying? This is exactly what happened with the fall. If you see what happened. When the fall occurred, remember, God went to Adam, like, didn't I tell you not, God went to Adam, didn't I tell you not to eat from the tree? Like, what's your problem? What was you doing? Well, you know, it was the woman that you gave me. Instead of just being like, yo, you're right, I messed up. He said, no, it was the woman that you gave me. They started to make excuses. They started to point the finger to, instead of just taking accountability for the situation. But again, I'm not going to get into that, because that's a whole end of the story. So much has happened in that few moments, that moment of encounter. So many things was entered into this world. So many things were displayed in characteristics and overall personality in that case. It's so much happened, but I'm not going to even get involved in that. We get into these points right there, because again, you know I'm long-winded now. Come on now. All right, let's see what's going on. The reason why the Bible states he who finds a good wife finds a good thing, because the things out here relishing in evil like it's a vacation, literally. And I mean that, like, seriously. You got to realize the Jeezebel spirits are out here and they're relishing in evil like it's a vacation. Why? Because this is what they like. You got to realize there's entities out there that literally love hate. That's it. The same feeling that you get from being good, being righteous, and being overall a positive individual, and it makes you feel giddy and goody inside, you have to realize there are entities that exist that have that same exact feeling, but it's in the negative. So when they're doing wrong, they're doing unrighteousness, they're doing negativity, they feel giddy about it. And that's just what it is. But don't ever dwell or even focus on situations like that, because at the same time, God has already blessed you with something tremendously more powerful than that, then the battle's already won. You're not fighting for victory, you're fighting for it. Can you dig what I'm saying? I think you can. So all right, let's get down to it. They hate God, so they hate you. Period. That's just what it is. Like, it's nothing, you can't change their perspective. Only they can change their perspective and align themselves with God. And all you can do is show grace. Why? This is why you don't show partiality. Because again, I'm going back to that situation. I feel like I'm repeating myself. But again, it's not a broken record. It's just on repeat. Can you dig what I'm saying? Hey now, you know, I'm talking sexy right now. Can you dig what I'm saying? Anyway, so when you're you give them grace regardless. Why? Now, I'm not saying you ever entertain a situation that you're putting yourself in harm. Nah, that's foolish, that's stupid, that's illogical. But you give grace and you move forward, and you don't ever take anything personally, because the minute you take it personal, you're taking responsibility for the encounter right there. Look at them at this situation. Remember, you give good to them regardless. Why? I'm not saying you give to the point where you're hurting yourself. No, you just give an example of how to treat them, because again, the whole point is to give an example on how to get up to where you're going, or to develop to that point. Because remember, we're never in a mature state, we're in a constant state of development. Now, fruits and vegetables. Fruits and vegetables hits a mature state, they ripen and they end. But you're in a constant state of development, meaning you keep on refining, you can keep on getting better. All you gotta do is find a system that works, find a script that it works, and whatever it does, rinse, wash, and repeat. And as you grow, it grows. Can you dig what I'm saying? I think you can. All right, let's get down to it. Now, you know I'm long-winded. All right. Never match their energy, never. When they see you cool, calm, collected, they see God. And when they match their energy, they in themselves, they love, they hate that, and they see the dirt. That's just what it is. Why? Because at the same time, as you're seeing the situation and as you're encountering the situation, it has no choice but to enter up to that point, or it leaves. That's just what it is. Why? Because you have to gain this, it's like gaining momentum. And in order to gain momentum to a point where when you're elevating the positivity, it takes peace, love, joy, steadfastness, long suffering. It takes positive traits to be able to increase your speed of perspective and your mentality, period. That's just what it is. But if they're not willing to take on that, because again, you got to realize they're looking at things from an emotional standpoint. They're looking at things from a point of personalizing their own situation. And the fact that the matter that you're not entertaining their BS, oh my gosh, they're going to look at it like it's an issue. And that's okay. That's totally good. That's totally okay for them. Why? You don't entertain it, because again, you're bringing yourself down. And if you're bringing yourself down, not only you're not setting a good example for the situation for them to reminisce on, to when they are taking their path to being righteous, and they're able to go back and be like, all right, how do I handle this? Because once they enter on their path, if they ever so choose, they're going to encounter similar situations and battles that you did. So being that you're giving grace to them as God's giving you grace, the beautiful thing about that is that now they're able to reminisce on the situation so they can do likewise. Now they're similar, now the situation may not be the same, but it will be similar. So they'll be able to respond in their own way, but you already set the blueprint to how to be able to handle that. And then the rich watches repeat from then on, and then they'll understand it, and hopefully you'll be able to come around in a well-rounded manner. I digress, you know, I'm long-winded. Let's get down to it. Oh yeah, and that's it. That's it right there. All right, yeah, listen, again, this message is for the adept out there, for the master, the expert, the proficient, efficient, the self-efficient, the one that's always doing it and never losing it, that's growing, that's glowing, that's going at all times. Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. And remember, speak good, do good, see good, because when it is good, it's all good. Can you dig it? And for the haters out there that love looking at your boy, make sure you look at my good side, because you know that I'm sexy. Can you dig what I'm saying? I think you can. Peace, love, and light. See you guys in the next vid. And hopefully I see you guys around. You know what's going on. Let's keep going. Positivity, baby. Peace, love, and light. See you guys, man.